Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Discord League cast. We have another round of 16 match between SirLargeness, aka Frotop, and Yaba. So, another Scorpion Mirror. And I have a special guest. I have Noman here, who just won our previous Scorpion Mirror this morning, to come deliver some insight.
Hi.
So, taking a quick look at Decklists here, starting off with Yaba's list. We have a pretty standard Scorpion Dragon list. I'm seeing a pretty high number of holdings in this list. Usually I see about 6 to 8. 9 seems a little high.
The first thing I've noted about this list isn't actually the holdings, it's the provinces.
Oh, okay.
So there's a very non-standard choice of playing Rally over Meditations.
Oh, he's playing Rally in his row. Interesting.
If that Rally doesn't break, that could just lose him the game.
Yeah, we could see a situation like your game where you just farm that till you dishonor your opponent.
Yeah, except in my game I at least had to pay the Meditations tax every turn.
Yeah.
And while he could put Rally on the box, and it's may even be better than Entrenched on the box, then he has the even harder to break Entrenched in his row, that does even less.
Yeah, that's probably worse, right? Like, you want Rally to break?
Yeah, but on the other hand, it depends if you think it's going to come to Conquest, right? If it's Conquest, you obviously just put Entrenched in your row. But if you think it's a Dishonor game, and it's probably a Dishonor game, then you put Entrenched in the box and you never get there, but you're very sad about putting that Rally in your deck list.
Yeah, this list seems really teched for Lion, or at least the provinces seem teched for Lion, right? Having Rally in your row.
If he was trying to tech for Lion, he wouldn't be splashing Dragon, though.
That's fair. Maybe it's just like a hedge then? I don't know.
Could be, I'm not entirely sure.
So we see Dragon Splash, 2 Calling in Favors, 2 Let Go, 1 I Can Swim, only 2 court games. Interesting. 2 court games, 2 Bonsai.
2 Wayla Scorpion, though those he doesn't want here.
Yeah. So we see in his Dynasty deck a pretty big omittance of Favored Niece, which can make these Calling in Favors, Let Goes, and Way of the Scorpions really like it can inflate his hand size. Which is kind of what we saw in your game, where your opponent had, 10 cards in hand, but a real hand size of like 5.
Yeah. The conflict characters are also a little strange. I'm super surprised to see Zero Yojimbo, Zero Cunning Magistrate.
Yeah, I think Cunning Magistrate has been widely adopted by a lot of players.
I'm not running it, but I think you definitely have to play the conflict 3-drops. That's where Scorpion's power is, aside from the broken events, obviously.
Okay, that's reasonable.
He's just playing not that. I'm really surprised both of these players are playing Meek Informant before playing the maximum number of policy debates. What do you think about that?
So it's a weird thing between Scorpion players. You're one of the few Scorpion players I see that plays 3. I see a lot of Scorpion players play 2 or 0. So it's interesting.
I mean, I was very happy to cast all 3 earlier today.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you were. Like it was sick, right? Meek Informant does have the ability to at least declare a conflict, so maybe on the split you do 2-2 just to be able to get a conflict out of it. I don't know. It has synergy with Miyako, but it doesn't look like either player is playing Miyako, so...
Yeah, so we've got 2 actresses versus also 2 actresses.
Chris does have 3 nieces taking a look at his list, so he does have an advantage in card selection if he decides to play those. Or, nieces are... I like charging niece a lot.
Yeah, there's also a lot of chargers running around. Oh, no Bonsai, though.
Yeah, Chris doesn't have any buffs in his deck. So this is his deck in quotation marks, right? Like, this is his creation of just the pure control mono no.
2 mono. Yeah, I mean, Add Up to Shadows is, as you said, sort of the ancestral character.
Yeah.
I went back and watched the video.
Yeah. That was who was I? I was talking to somebody, and I was just trying to think of like the best way to describe Add Up to Shadows, and ancestral character felt like it fit the most.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're overpaying a little for that ancestral character.
Yeah, right. But like you overpay for Daisho and
But you're overpaying even more.
Oh yeah, sure, right? Because you're paying 1 extra, yeah.
So while we're on the topic, you saw the new ancestral Phoenix sword.
Is it ancestral?
Ancestral.
Huh. Well, that doesn't stop it from getting let go, so I don't know.
Yes. It does have a bit of a counter against calling in favors.
Yeah, because then when
it
your
needs to
character
attach
dies.
to a unique Phoenix character.
Oh, that's true.
So it turns calling in favors into let go. But I'd still pay 1 in an honor token to kill a 2-cost attachment for most of the time.
Yeah, this sword is sweet. I hope it's a cycle and that every single clan gets one.
I hope the Scorpion one says interrupt when this leaves play, your opponent loses some honor.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool. Like, it'd be very thematic. I don't know if it might be too powerful. It just depends on numbers.
I'm just tired of having attachments die to let go, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, well, you play Scorpion, though, so you just don't... I guess you're playing Crab Splash, so that's a different story.
Yeah, I like the attachments in Crab Splash. It's interesting, both of these players are on clouds. Seems like everybody who isn't me is on clouds.
Yeah, do you just find it hard to activate, or do you just not think it's necessary?
Sort of both. The only card that I absolutely need to cloud is Guest of Honor, and I've discovered I can just play through Guest of Honor, and it's fine. So,
what about Investigator?
it's fine. I've got policy debates, so
that's fair.
Let's go.
All right.
Oh, so Investigator can be Fate Worse Than Death. I have a blank in my deck. Remember?
Yeah. He can be. I think against. I don't know. I tend to play around that when it comes to Investigator. I've kind of learned what to pick my spots with him in the matchup, but
that's fair. But you know, I'm going to get some value out of Fate Worse Than Death in somebody.
Luke says you sound like a me clone. Interesting.
Is that a compliment?
Yeah, I'm definitely taking it as a compliment. I mean, I don't think you could take it any other way.
So, the holding choices are weird to me again. They're both on at least 4 copies of the in-clan holding total, and both cutting neutral holdings. What do you think about that?
Say that. Oh, say that one more time. You're saying that they're cutting.
They're both cutting neutral holdings to play clan holdings.
So City of Lies in Chris's deck makes sense, right? Because he's just playing a bunch of really expensive events. I personally like the Palace, but neither player is playing Censure. I like the Palace for Denial.
I'm surprised to see 0 Censures, but, you know, I guess not everybody is on the 3 policy debate 2 Censure train.
Yeah, right. It definitely helps you in the mirror for sure. So, what is your opinion? A lot of Scorpion players were saying that they think Dragon Splash is better in the mirror versus Crab Splash.
It is, but Crab Splash is better in all the other hard matchups.
Really? See, that's interesting, because I personally prefer to play against Crab Splash out of Dragon than Dragon Splash.
So, the other thing is that I'm open to being convinced that maybe Dragon Splash is better against Dragon when you're playing against the best Dragon players.
Sure.
I'd rather not have to take risks against bad Dragon players. I was actually thinking about it. If you knew you were playing against Dragon, I think there's a very real argument for playing Unicorn Splash.
Okay, for a Wayfinder, so you just take Wayfinders.
Wayfinders are nothing.
Interesting. Okay, that's fair.
Because if I play PFBs, they die to let go. That sucks.
Well, that's the thing, right? So, like, the normal Scorpion decks that have Dragon Splash I don't have good targets for let go. Whereas Crab Splash, like, I don't know if you saw my game versus Heinzel, like, I actually had like just sick targets for let go.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't like having to fight over the let goes, but I don't want to play Unicorn Splash in any other matchup. So
yeah, this is where that whole sideboard thing comes up. So we see the match coming in here. We see Yaba has won the die roll, so Chris is going first. We see both players buying Lyres. Chris opts to not put Fate on his Lyre. What is your opinion on fading up your Lyre?
If you're planning to pass after your opponent plays, then you should put the Fate on the Lyre, is my general opinion.
So you think that Chris should have done one Fate on his Lyre then?
Most likely, unless he was really confident that something that didn't happen was going to happen there.
Okay.
The Sinister Soshi there is interesting to me as well. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
You can deny a conflict character, maybe, right? Like, so out of Chris's conflict characters, it denies the Magistrate, a Meek Informant, or an Adept of Shadows?
Yes, but it's just not going to get played.
Oh, sure, right. You just don't play it into the Soshi.
Yeah, and then you're bleeding Fate, because good rule of thumb is the player with the most characters on the board has to make something happen, since they're bleeding more value.
Let's see. Shane asks in chat, agree on versus Dragon, but why better Scorpion just because also blanks their attachment control?
It blanks their attachment control, and Miyamoto's Fury is just a really good card, it turns out.
Travis,
Reprieves.
I've had my reprieves taken multiple times and still won the match very easily. It just depends on it's context dependent, right? Like if I'm playing reprieve to save like a very important character, sure. But in that case, I'm usually clearing the way via investigator or policy debate or censure.
I like this 0-4 shameful display we're about to have.
Would you say 0-4?
0-4, because both characters targeted were 0 glory.
0-4, gotcha.
Yeah, this Sinister Sochi didn't do very much work here, though.
Yeah, right. So Chris has...
Imagine if he just played an Illusionist instead of both of these characters. He wins the conflict because Illusionist is a glory, and then he isn't taking the extra decay from having 2 characters in play.
Yeah, and then the Illusionist... And then his other character can declare then?
Or just play the Illusionist and nothing else.
Oh, you're saying Illusionist nothing, no liar? Okay.
Illusionist nothing or Illusionist liar no fate are both better than what he did, I think.
That's fair. So one thing Chris likes to do, he's told me this a couple times, is that he likes to scout every single province and figure out where it is. So he'll scout 3, and then he'll either reveal the last one for Fury, or he'll just know where all the provinces is, and then he starts looking for breaks. But Chris has said multiple times he just doesn't go in looking for breaks until he knows what he's up against.
I just don't go in looking for breaks ever. I'm just going to attack meditations the whole game.
Yeah, but that was a matchup dependent thing, right? Like you're not going to do that in every matchup.
That's true. Some matchups don't have meditations, and then I can't.
Hey, this matchup wouldn't. Yep, right. Yaba doesn't have meditations.
Technically, you are right, but in practice. So these 2 holdings, I'm not super happy to see them here if I'm Largeness. Are you happy to see them?
I'm happy to see City of Lies, depending on my hand, right? Like City of Lies could have. I guess it's matchup dependent, right? So like a lot of your events you might not want to play. Like Charge is dead right now. Like Calling in Favors is something you want to reduce, but it's not alive.
Mono is dead.
Yeah. All right. Sure. I'm not happy to see it. Okay, I take it back. I'm not happy to see either holding.
The Sochi here might do a little work, but I'm not even... Oh, hey, there's the other Shameful.
So this will matter then? So
this will affect... This will increase by 1 skill, yes.
Do you use your rumor monger to move it to move a token, or does it matter?
No, why would it matter?
No, yeah, you're right, it doesn't matter. I was thinking for Edict, but then it's still same neutralness.
Yeah, this is correct, because now once the Honored Fire dies, the Dishonored Fire is not going to Edict.
That's fair.
I wonder if it's even worth committing anything to this conflict. If you could conveniently win, that'd be one thing.
So
but,
an assassination on the rumor monger?
But it's just going to go under a hideaway. Now the hideaway gets stacks to get some value here.
Yeah, hideaway can't play in the conflict, right? I've never played the card before.
It cannot play into the conflict. It can play during a conflict, but the character will be played at home.
Okay. And because it's a new character, he'll be able to use that reaction again should it come up.
Though he didn't use it the first time anyways.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. We were just talking about it.
Yeah.
So we see him shaming the Dishonored Liar.
I don't know if I like this, because it's just preventing the break, and I don't think this matchup is going to be about breaks.
I mean, if you just take a free break though, like your opponent doesn't really commit much into the conflict, is that not going to lead to potential breaks down the road?
It's awkward, but I don't like Kiri's going to commit 2 cards and the City of Lies activation. I guess he gets 1 back with the Blackmail Artist. Maybe it's fine.
So
well, it depends on what he's committing here. Like if this is a Fury, I really don't like it because Fury's expensive. If he has some better deal, then that's different. But I'm not sure he can, right? He's on no fans.
Yeah, he has no buffs, right? So he can play his own court games here, for Shame and Fury.
He can't play his... He's not playing to play a court games. He's used City of Lies. So the next event he plays, if it doesn't cost 1...
So he does play a Fury.
So Fury gets edicted.
Yeah. Do you like edicting Fury there? Or do you just accept that your opponent played cards?
I like this. I like the edict, I think. Okay. I have no idea what the for Shame was about.
Is he gonna play a second for Shame? That's really expensive.
Yeah, this is so many cards that's being thrown into this conflict, and I don't like it. Yeah, exactly, Travis. This is fighting over nothing anymore. Like, you don't try to get this break. If you win this conflict as the attacker, you're super happy.
Yeah, I agree. He's contesting the fire ring. Is that the ring you would have chosen?
No.
What ring would you have gone for?
Probably Earth. When in doubt, pick Earth.
Yeah, I think I like Earth as the...
So many resources in this conflict. I don't see what they're fighting over. Again, like, I guess it is the favor, but there's no censures.
Chris maybe wants to steal an honor. I don't know. So Chris steals an honor with Blackmail Artist, but now boxes...
That's not worth having to play 2 Furies.
Yeah, I agree. So we see a lot of Fate stocked up here. Both players on 2 copies of Kachika? Yes.
So.
We can see a Yojimbo from Chris here.
We could, yeah, I'd like a Yojimbo here, but you don't go to Shameful Display, because if you go to Shameful Display, you're going to see a conflict character.
Or a charge, right?
Yes. That's less bad, though.
That's fair. So, both players just passed, though, so Chris still has a conflict left. What does he want to do? Does he want to play a character? Maybe a Meek Informant wouldn't be bad here?
Yeah, this is the kind of situation where Informant's okay. He's got the Yojimbo, that's fine. I think you don't go to Shameful here, though, despite there being no visible
There's
blocker.
no meditations, right? So you just don't want to hit Pilgrimage or,
Well,
cash?
if you hit Pilgrimage, you pick up a Fate from a ring, and you make them lose an honor.
That's fair.
I'd take the ring of gain 1 Fate, your opponent loses an honor all day.
Yeah, I agree. And he's going to Shameful, though. I don't like this. There's just too many things that can go wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's not making meditations worse. He's not getting info.
Well, he just doesn't have meditations, right? Like if you run into Rally to the cause, that's excellent.
Sorry, I meant Fury. He's not making Fury work. So yeah, here he would have gotten to flip up a card and see what it was.
Yeah.
Unless he's really terrified of Secret Cache, but he's gonna trigger Secret Cache once this game, probably.
So Chris takes favor now.
The favor is important in this matchup, even with no censures, because they're both on Dragon Splash.
Yeah, that's
so. He took it on military, which is probably correct because he's declared. He's basically declaring, if you bow my Yojimbo with Fury, I now get the rank.
Yeah, because he's gonna become first
ranks.
player, right? It's his turn to become first player.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like in the Dragon Mirror where favor is really important against Fury.
Yeah, so despite Large just being up 1 card, I feel like Yaba is probably ahead here.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you see a Shoju by here.
He had 18 Fate, and the only character flip that costs more than 2 is Shoju. Yes, he's going to buy Shoju.
Look!
I'm surprised.
I have seen so many people just not buy Shoju. We've seen it more in this tournament, but I remember casting last tournament, and I swear Scorpions just didn't buy Shoju ever.
With 18 Fate?
Yes. Last tournament, I cast the game. He had 14 Fate, and we saw Shoju flip, and Kingsley and I were just flabbergasted.
I no longer like Largeness, or I no longer like Yaba's position.
Just because he bid 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's aggressive. So Chris is gonna go up to 5 with the Stronghold, and then he has 1 Dishonor on board.
Yeah, let's think. If you wanted to force a kill from here, what would you need to be able to do?
Well, I don't think you can, right? Because Chris can just declare air first.
Is first player. So
yeah,
he's just going to go first. You say, I'm going to pick a province and do military, air, covert. Oh, hey, a hand. Let's read a hand.
That's a lot of cards. We do see a third
16
Fury.
cards, yes.
Yeah. So, let's see. Third Fury, how many edicts is that? Is that 1 edict? 1 Fate Worse Than Death. 2 monos.
2 clouds as well. There's just a lot of dead cards in that hand.
Yeah.
I count like 6 dead cards immediately.
What? So it's like both monos, the Way of the Scorpion, both clouds, the Calling in Favors? That's 6, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Let Go is the 7th one?
The Let Go might hit a cloud, so I'm not prepared to say it's dead yet.
Sure, because he bought Illusionist. That's fair, that's fair. Okay. So, yeah, so hand's not that great. And it's going to be hard for... Although, Yaba did play an Edict already, right? So it is unlikely for him. So if Chris initiates a Fate Worse Than Death on Shoju and Yaba only has 1 Edict, he can't get around it?
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
We could see a policy
without
debate.
Rally. I mean, that means the manipulator's probably dead, but... That does Bao Shouju if it happens, so...
Then Yaba probably declares water.
Yeah, but he has to win a military challenge with a total of 1 skill.
Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, so Shoju's just gonna kill the manipulator. Are we gonna see a policy debate here?
There should be one if he has one, but evidently not.
Back alley hideaway.
Yeah.
Is that the same hideaway?
It can't be. It says just... Oh, he didn't play the last one. So
Yeah, he didn't play the rumor. So that hideaway has 2 characters under it right now.
Yeah, it's still only be able to play 1 though, because it sacrificed itself.
Oh, it's part of the cost, right? Okay.
It's technically not part of the cost to sacrifice it, but it's going to sacrifice itself when he plays 1. So.
Action.
Huh, so you can use that to trigger Kisada, I guess.
Yeah, interesting. Alright, so he's attacking the hideaway, all Paul Water hits meditations.
So there goes the parts of his board that don't cost 5. I don't feel like that Blackmail Artist is triggering.
I would agree.
It doesn't matter too much if Shouju stands up. Like, he can get coverted on the attack back.
Yeah, and if he doesn't have answer to the Fate Worse than Death, Shoju's just gonna get Fate Worse than Death, right?
That's also true.
Although Chris doesn't have
No, that was correct. Okay.
Well, Chris will have to play one of his courtiers first before going for that play, so he can have a courtier for Edict.
He solved that.
Oh, sure.
I hope he doesn't try to save this meditations. I hope he uses this meditations.
Well, you lose the hideaway, right? So you want to play the character out of your hideaway first?
First, you want to click on Socio-Illusionist, I think.
Yeah, with meditations, that's fair.
How much fate do you put on the Rumormonger?
We see it.
That's not a Rumormonger.
We see a Kachiko coming in on defense here.
I don't dislike Kachiko on defense. Defense is really safe. Just you're not going to.
We're seeing a Fate Worse than Death there.
You never block and accidentally get run into shameful display while you're blocking, right?
So we see Fate Worse than Death and Kachiko. Chris edicts and then Yaba edicts him back. So that's savage.
It's not that bad.
It's a big tempo play, but like you just lose meditation, so you don't care, right?
So notably here, if Largeness had taken his first action to play the young Rumormonger, like we were talking about, then this Fate Worse than Death dishonors the Ojimbo instead, and it's much better.
Yeah, then you don't care, right?
Yeah, the only reason you care here is that it's dishonored now, and you probably are going to have trouble court gamesing it back up since you just spent the court games on a Blackmail Artist.
Yeah.
There is a Socio-Illusionist, though.
So you just leave the Illusionist in your row then?
I'm surprised. No, I'm not surprised actually. Oh, so it does make sense why he didn't play from the hideaway though. It's because he has 4 fate. Hey, what costs 4 fate?
Fate Worse than Death.
Yep.
You could have played the manipulator if you wanted for 0, and just to have the character, and then you could.
Yeah, but that would be done the redirect that we were talking about.
Oh yeah, okay, that's fair. So attacking a rally, he's just gonna farm a ring here.
Yeah, Earth.
He's taking Void to protect.
Void.
He's trying to protect his Yojimbo, was what I assume.
But what are you protecting it from?
Well, it doesn't matter, right? You're gonna Fate Worse than Death Shouju, so yeah, you're right. This
I want to point out how this honor pressure is doing absolutely nothing to Largeness.
Yeah.
Like, you're just going to stay on 5 the whole game, but he just drew 5 extra cards for no reason, or 4 extra cards, I guess.
Travis, that would require Yaba to have the 3rd edict for him to edict Fate Worse than Death.
Yeah.
And having drawn only 16 cards, it could happen. It is unlikely.
Well, first off, he's going to have to play a strength buff, or this conflict's not even going to matter.
Yaba has 2 Bonsais as his only strength buffs. Chris also has a Fury, and he now has 6 Fate.
I would rather play Fury here, I think. Oh, there's also a City of Eyes, so Fury is just free. But, well, first things first, we're waiting to see if this even gets to 5 skill.
Wait, yeah, Chris just passes. He doesn't care. He's just gonna be like,
Yeah, if it's not 5 skill, we don't care.
"There's a
Okay.
katana."
Oh, yeah,
Wait.
this is the guy with the katanas.
Wait, now you just calling in favors it down to your Jimbo, right?
First you click on City Allies.
I saw a fate go down from Chris for something.
So he's not clicking on City Allies. I don't like that. But, fairy. Okay. That's reasonable if you're thinking that the number of dishonor tokens on his characters are getting kind of scary, which they are.
I'm just scrolling real quick through to see if he's used City of Lies this turn. It does not look like. I think he just missed it. Yeah, he just didn't use City of Lies. So Yaba takes favor now. So Chris is gonna go down to 4 honor, but he's pretty safe with the Scorpion Stronghold, right? You can just. Would you bid 1 or would you bid still go for like 2 or something?
Depends on flips in hand. I like to bid 2s a lot. What are the swim count?
Yaba has 1, Chris has none, if I believe. Yeah.
You're correct. I like to, but we'll see.
So Chris is gonna leave the Illusionist to remove the token from Kachiko.
I don't like keeping City Allies here. I think you should be looking for new characters.
Well, probably gonna see a Yunako buy from Yaba here. We're seeing this high number of holdings come into play here.
Yeah, and the people being reluctant to discard their holdings has been
Yeah.
the problems for sure. Both players kept City Allies. I think neither player should have.
So we see Yunako 2 Fate. Do you buy any of your other characters here? Looks like he buys Hiroe.
Hiroe is really good, so I can't fault him. Though both of the characters in play are weak counters to Hiroe, so.
2 Fate on the Earth Ring. I can only assume we're going to see an Earth conflict here.
Yeah, if there isn't an Earth conflict here, I want to know which match this is. Because I'm pretty sure it's not the cup match.
Do you jam into Pilgrimage, or like you're not attacking Secret Cache, right? Like there's just no way you attack Secret Cache.
Yeah, that means you're going to Pilgrimage.
So Chris does bid 2, Yaba bids 1.
So, yeah, Yaba's just not going to get to use box, so Chris is just going to get a free card worth of value every turn.
So we're just gonna see a Paul attack on. This is just like we know Chris has Fate Worse Than Death. Like this, if Yaba doesn't have, this is representing the third edict, right? Like this attack here.
Yeah. So here, if you have a court game, it's even better. You court game is Shoju down.
Oh
And
yeah,
then-
that's smart.
Like it's a little annoying that you waste the dishonor, but it's too important. Does that block mean doesn't have it?
Oh, you mean the court games? Yeah, I don't know.
No, he's blocking with Hiroe.
He just
or
wants to
this
pull
could-
Yunako, right?
Yeah, that's fair. So Fate Worse Than Death to Shoju first, then pull in Yunako, maybe play some that policy debate. If Yunako doesn't think to switch immediately.
Yeah. Although you
So
could,
this is risking getting policy debate yourself if
yeah.
Yunako swaps Hiroe like in my game.
Or well, even if you policy debate the Yunako, you have to be careful on your bid, right? Like you could just get it reversed on you if you bid too low.
You still get one. If Yaba wants to, so getting yourself policy debate is a -2. If Yaba wants to give up the honor pressure he got from going -4 earlier to get a -2, I say that's completely fine by me.
That's fair.
So he's absurdly overblocking, which means he's respecting the third edict.
Chris, or I mean, Luke's saying in chat, forgeries everywhere. Can I get a censure up in here? Some authentic documents.
So I'm the only one playing censures. So
No,
next round.
Woodwin's playing censure.
Woodwin's not anywhere near this part of the bracket, though. Yes.
No, yeah, he's on the opposite side of the bracket. Well, actually, he's on your side. He's on the bottom half of the bracket. So you will
In
eventually
top
play.
4, maybe.
You'll have to play him in top 4, yeah. If he can make it past Bill, the
And if
Scorpion
I can
Slayer.
make it past whoever wins this game.
Yeah. So we see the Illusionist removing. We see Hiroe moving. Now what does Yaba have? A policy debate here would be really strong.
Yeah, you just slam Paul debate and say, hey, I'm up by 4, have fun.
Yeah.
No, the first thing you do here is you swap Unako stats, maybe.
So you don't get debated back by... Well, then Kachiko
Yeah,
still's up by 2.
only up 2, though. You can, like... You have to think about up 2. Up 2 is the highest number where there's still some thinking involved on the bids. Up 3 or higher, you just bid 1-1. He swaps Hiroyu instead, so he wants to get his own debate off, but he's not going to get a chance if Kachiko just debates Unako here.
I saw a lot of fate disappear. Does it... He sends Hiroe home with Kachiko.
Yeah, that's a good play.
Okay.
Because Hiroyu's stats got swapped, so he's playing around policy debate.
Yeah.
You could just cast your own debate, but this plays around a hand with 2 debates by not getting debated. And I like not getting debated.
Well, I mean, you just get debated on your illusionist, right? Like, oh, we see a counter Kachiko. This is so many resources for this break.
It's also an Earth Ring.
You're now really susceptible to getting voided. The way that he played this Kachiko, right? Like you have 2 characters with 1 fate now.
Yeah. But if he does take the void ring, and Yaba has a conflict character, that's another fate for Yaba.
Do you so say you could take the void ring here? Do you void is Kachiko or Shoujo more important to void?
I mean, when in doubt, kill the thing with attachments, right?
That's fair. That's reasonable.
They both auto win a political conflict, but Shoujo can also win a military conflict.
So here's the debate here. We see Chris's debate though. His Kachiko.
This hand's so bad.
I'm surprised Chris didn't debate earlier, right? Like you just debate and then he would have been able to take this Kachiko.
He wanted to get Hiroyu out before he got debated against a 0, but with the illusionist in the conflict, that's not even necessary. You're right.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think
They both use their own Kachikos and their own guys. Seems reasonable.
What did he take? It looks like he took a Fury.
Yeah, which is the only. There's an Edict and a Fury and nothing else in this hand.
Yeah, Yaba has 4 dead cards, 5 dead cards.
Cloud, 6 dead cards.
Well, it's 2 Lekos, 2 Scorpions, and a Cloud, right? I mean, and the Bonsai could do something later.
Eye of the Shadows. It's the card that I'd like to think is kind of dead.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, you're right. It could do something.
Oh wow, and so yeah, because Chris's hand is so large, he has a high chance of discarding a dead card, and he indeed discards Way of the Scorpion. So that Earth Ring was very non-impactful.
It drew a card. Maybe it drew a good card.
Yeah, that's fair.
If I'm Yaba, I really hope it drew a good card.
So Yunako's gonna get coverted. You just go to Rally again, right?
Everybody's absolutely.
Oh, right. You can go to Shameful and then force if you want to defend.
If he triggered it already.
He hasn't triggered it.
Triggered already?
No.
No, you can't go to Shameful. You cannot go to Shameful. You go to Rally.
Why not though? You know his hand. All he can play is an Adept.
I guess it's just what value are you getting out of breaking the Shameful?
Well, you threaten the break, right? So you basically force your opponent to play the Adept here. If you play Adept here, then you're not gonna get then you have only Yunako to attack with, and all it's costing you is an honor. It costs your opponent 2 fate.
Well, 2 honor, but yeah, you might be right.
Well, it's +1 -1, right? Like so, I guess it's 2 total.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
And then if Yaba decides to pull the Adept back, it's just -1 because the Adept cancels.
I think you can't go here if you don't have Bonsai, so I guess that tells us Largeness has Bonsai.
No, Chris doesn't have Bonsai in his deck.
Oh, but that means Yaba could win this conflict.
Chris could have an Edict. Oh wait, then Yaba can Edict back. Yeah. Okay, yeah, maybe this was a mistake then.
I think the Scorpion Mirror is fun.
Yeah, the Scorpion Mirror doesn't seem that bad.
It's not like we're cranes or something.
The crane mirror seemed really bad from the ones that I've watched. The crab mirror is abysmal.
Other characters. Does anybody ever put fate on anything in the crab mirror?
Yes. Like witch hunters get a lot of fate because.
I thought they died to Way of the Crab.
It depends. It's like this small mini game. The problem is if you don't put fate on characters, you get like these weird timings where you need to be first player and stuff. First player is really important for fate phase stuff.
Yeah.
Or draw step stuff. Also, sometimes the match comes like if someone just natural flops Karada District, it's like impossible.
Why didn't he play Bonsai?
I can only assume that's a mistake. Right, you just defend this conflict, you protect both your 5-drop characters with a Bonsai? Like, what else are you using Bonsai for?
Looking pretty, I guess.
We know that Chris has Chris played the third Fury? He has, okay.
There's like nothing that could have. I guess the return adept is the only thing that. Wait, did he? He didn't even use Shameful.
Wait, he didn't use Shameful either, what? He's also going into Secret Cache.
You want this game to be over? Is that what's going on here? He wants to just let this end.
Yeah, I think given his hand is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's his hand right now is Edict, Bonsai, Edict and Bonsai, right? Like an unknown card from the Earth Ring.
Yeah, correct.
That I think that's incorrect to not Bonsai there. You prevent.
Yeah, because what's Largeness gonna have? Largeness doesn't play mill buffs.
No, he has no buffs. He literally could play a conflict character. He could play his own Adept of Shadows, but that's not enough strength.
Yeah, and it is enough strength, isn't it?
No, you Bonsai to 6. You Bonsai to 6 and then Adept is 5.
Kicker. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So that conflict was just a free win if Yaba had wanted it, and the favor.
Yes. Now Chris could have any number of cards. Like we could see. Who knows? Here's the line, right? So he
plays a Bonsai.
Yeah, you Bonsai to break. Like that's his line.
Why was that Bonsai kicked though? I guess to play around Adept of Shadows.
Yeah, you play around Adept of Shadows.
I guess. I just wish that Bonsai had been played to save target Shoju.
Yes, if you just save Shoju, like it's just way better, right?
Yeah, I like my 0-cost reprieves that turn on the Scorpion box.
Yeah.
Not in this case, but in general.
It also sets you up for a win. It also sets you up to potentially break on the next turn. Yeah,
if this break goes through, there might be a problem. But if this break doesn't go through, then I think
Chris has Rally, I think, on the box. No, he has Entrenched.
No, Entrenched. The only way that I think Largeness loses this game is if the Secret Cache breaks right now. Forged Edict. You can't still Forged Edict on charge. Nice. So the charge resolves. That's all 3 of Yaba's Edicts down. Whereas there's still a 3rd Edict Largeness might find. Sucks to dishonor Kachiko, but you do what you have to do. So what do you think is going on here? Is he just saying, I'm going to save the province and that's fine? Or does he think he's going to actually play some cards?
Well, he can't. He would have to. He can't play any cards, right? Like, he has no buffs. He has no buffs, and he has no Courtier.
Point. But, you know.
He can swap Yunako stats.
It didn't matter.
Oh, yeah, it's the holding, right? So, yeah, he's just defending.
Yeah, this is safe. That token sucks, but has Illusionist been used this turn? It has, right?
Yeah, it removed the Kachiko Dishonor.
Yaba picks up his Adept and goes and gets hit in the face by Hiroire. Oh, but the Shameful wasn't used. So a Meek Informant here could get honored, but that's such terrible value, so you don't even do that. Hiroire is being used as well, I believe, so this is just going to be a random poke. There's a court games here. That'd be nice for Largeness.
Sorry, I was just dealing with some admin stuff. It looks like Isawa Yujin has dropped from the cup because he is currently starting his thesis and does not have time right now.
That sucks, but it's sensible.
Yeah, he messaged me and I told him that as well. I was like, it's reasonable.
Well, I guess you're gonna have more Scorpions in your line to the finals.
No. So let's see. Tenerum can beat QQ, and then he can beat JD Sauce, and then all I have to do is win, and then I'll play Lions instead.
Yeah, if the lion 2-0s scorpions, then you get to play a lion.
Yeah.
Back alley hideaways. You can't afford to replay Shoju here. One fate pool.
You could play Shoju 1.
But I'm just saying I don't like keeping the tide away.
It's also... Oh, and he flipped the Shoju dupe.
He got the dupe.
So you just Shoju 0 and then dupe? Or do you...
I think that's so vulnerable. Is there still a fate worse than death in Largeness hand? There is, right?
Look,
yeah, there's an uncounterable fate worse than death in Largeness's hand.
Look, Tenerim, I'm giving you props here, man. Come on.
So yeah, this Shoju's unplayable because of the fate worse than death. So I would definitely not have kept that tidal way.
That's reasonable.
I think both of these players are keeping too many holdings, and it's really punishing them with less consistent Dynasty decks. I'm totally a fan of 7, 8, even 9 holdings, but they need to be holdings that you use once and discard. You can't keep them.
Like Favorable and Storehouse?
Yeah, those are great.
No, Chris, no, Luke, Chris is up more cards than 4. We know that Yaba has like 6 dead cards in his hand. He has 2 ways, 2 let goes, and a cloud right now. So he has at least 5 dead cards.
But I thought Favored Needs was considered bad.
Well, I think before, like, there was a lot of Scorpion mirrors, people just didn't like it being potatoed by Dishonor, but it's just become so important to cycle all these events.
Yeah, to be fair, I think people have finally figured out that they should play their Illusionists and use them.
Yeah. Illusionist is sick.
Yeah, as Bit points out, the 4 cards that Yaba paid to risk an honor threat did nothing. Largest is still up 4 cards and the honor threat's gone. Assassination. Interesting. You think that's safe?
So you steal the 3, and then...
Unless Largeness assassinates back first. Then we get real into Scorpion territory.
then you're facing it unopposed, right? You're like that's really dangerous if Chris has an assassination here.
Dangerous for both players, though.
If you're a Largeness here and you have assassination, do you play it?
I try to remember exactly what Yaba had in my head and start counting.
So,
what I do.
Akis Scorpion King in chat, Rudo is saying Nieces were crap because you used to have only Way of the Scorpion as a deck card. Now that we have so many non-attachment decks, she becomes useful.
I think before Fate Worse Than Death, you actually did have to run Clouds as well, and Clouds are often dead.
That's fair.
I've been on the 3 Nice train a lot of the time, though I only played 2 at PAX. But that might have even been wrong. Anyways.
Whoa, which PAX did you go to?
Corset, Unplugged.
Oh, okay. So...
I think this is a tell that Largeness has the assassination and is thinking about it. No?
Moves Kachiko first.
That's the other line. No, you don't. It's not first. If you're moving Kachiko, you're not assassinating.
No, that's what I'm saying. So he sorry, I meant first as in like his action.
Yeah. So this bows. I mean, that's one way to have your water conflict work. If you want to bow Kachiko. If you win the conflict, you bow Kachiko, and if Kachiko's in the conflict, you bow Kachiko. And either way, Kachiko is going to be very bowed. Mortimer, Largeness's box is unbowed.
Yeah.
So if Yaba steals Largest steals back and it's 2 and Yaba's back on 1.
Well, there is that dishonored Kachiko.
I think what you do there is if you have a no, you can't possibly have a way to do that. Never mind.
Well, this is dangerous too because so Yaba needs to activate his box because Chris has the Fate Worse than Death, right? Which can put a dishonored status onto Yunako. Or I guess you could move the status to Rumormonger to save yourself an honor this turn. Attack's shameful. That's insane, right?
I think so. Like, I know you don't like going to Secret Cache. Nobody likes going to Secret Cache, but do you like losing the game instead?
Chris doesn't defend. This makes Chris incredibly weak to a conflict character. Because we're going to see Fate Worse than Death.
Yeah, what conflict characters are left, though?
Did the Adept end up not going
Oh, yeah,
back?
there's the Adept went back, you're right. Oh, hang on, but this is Mel.
Yeah.
Here's your puzzle.
Oh, charge.
If Adept... Oh, okay, that's not Adept. I believe there was... Okay, so I guess you want to see an Adept here from Largeness, ideally, or something.
Chris could have his own charge
No, you
here.
want to see Cunning Magistrate if you're Largeness.
Yes, agreed. And but he only has 1.
Yep.
We could see a charge here, but the Outcast isn't strong enough to hold. It will give Yaba the airing at least.
So Yaba's on Virtual 2, because he can use the box, but Junako's dying.
Yeah, potentially Virtual 1, depending on how the Shameful gets activated.
No, because he's going to redirect that to Young Rumormonger, so it doesn't get lost until next turn.
Oh, sure. So you have one more turn. You have one more box activation then.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what's... I feel like the choices of conflict characters have been issues here. Like, Meek Informant is completely useless when your opponent's just doing military challenges.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
And Adept has 0 glories with not a great punish. Cunning Magistrate, admittedly, would be extremely good here.
Yeah. Cunning Magistrate with Shameful is a pretty insane blowout.
Well, Largeness is thinking, so he has something he could play.
Well, he has 13. He has up to 13 cards in his hand. I hope he has something to play.
I don't know. He could have 2 Whale Scorpion, 2 Mono No OR. Wait, he actually has.
He does
that,
have. He has a large. He has at least 4 or 5 dead cards, but that's still a lot of cards, regardless.
Oh wait, he discarded a Way with Earth Ring, so there's only 1 Way in there.
2 mono. Yaba should tell Chris to play mono here. It would be a valid legal play for Chris to do.
That is true. It would even remove one of Yaba's fate.
Yep. Value.
Just cast Word of Command.
to take Hachiko?
No,
Oh no, that's
Word
Ray of Command. That's Ray of Command.
Word of Command is the card. It's like a Mindslaver, but it only lasts for 1 priority window.
Oh yeah, it's the black card. Yeah, you look at their hand, you choose it, and then you can play it. Yeah.
No, not you can play it. You can control them while they play it.
You control the player until.
So they play the card.
Oh, the player plays the card if
they
able.
get the effect.
Yeah.
But you get to choose how to play it.
God, this card's from like Legends, I think.
Yep.
It's got so much text. No, it's from Unlimited. I'm sorry.
Close enough. So Shoju gets Fate Worse than Death, putting Yaba on Virtual 1 Honor. No, Virtual 0 Honor. Oh no, Yaba can use the... Yaba needs to use his box right now.
Yes, agreed.
Like, he cannot pass this and use his box later. He needs to use his box right now, or Largeness clicks the Assassination button, clicks the Bayushi Manipulator button, and clicks the Win the Game button. Box used. Check. I'm sure Nex is happy.
Yeah.
So. If you're Largeness and you have an Assassination here, do you play it?
Yes. None of your characters can leave play right now. You then box back up to 2, and then you win.
As long as nothing goes wrong in the last conflict.
Or I guess this conflict. Your opponent, your opponent has add out.
It's true, but this is the last window that you're guaranteed to have to play Assassin. Well, I'm glad that Rally of the Claws is up, or this attack would be really risky, but it is.
Wait,
but
he's
attacking
rally, something else.
So
oh, okay. I was like, what are you doing, Chris? Just attack
that must
the
be
rally.
a misclick. Yeah, it's been fixed.
He's dead,
Yeah.
right? Like, so you block, like, it's a political conflict too, so court games, we have a court here and there, so for shame, like, there's just so many conflicts. Also him not resolving the airing means the airing was available to be taken. Oh, I can swim!
Well, that's one good reason not to assassinate, admittedly.
Wait, is Chris dead now? No, he has box. Yeah, no.
You can't use box yet.
Well, he's gonna take it unopposed. He's gonna take it unopposed, right? You void,
So,
right? You void.
Why is
hit
Yaba
roll?
up to 3?
He was at 2 and he boxed to 3.
Oh yeah, you just boxed. Right, I'm bad at counting.
Wait, no.
He
Wait, he can't attack. This kills him.
Unless it's a fire.
Yeah, it has to, or air. It has to be air or fire.
Yeah, and he has to. Well, it's shameful, but there's 0 fate, so that's not a risk.
We can see. Oh, he has political favor. Chris doesn't have a court game, so he passes. He contested air. Okay.
Box.
Do you steal one here or gain 2? Steals 1.
I'm not convinced that's correct, but we'll see. Yaba's first player next round. This might actually go Yaba's way.
So Yaba's gonna go to 1, but they can box. Oh wait, but then Chris's box will be able to steal back again.
Yep.
God, this is so awkward. Alright. So we see both players with no fate.
So Yaba's my first player next round, so if they're both going to die due to Dishonored characters leaving play, Yaba's going to lose the game.
Yes.
That City of Lies, I think that City of Lies has lost Largeness. That City of Lies has lost Largeness the game, if he loses, for sure. That should have been discarded so long ago.
Yeah, because he just flips only one character now. And we see Yunako too.
Not even surprising. He's running how many holdings? 9?
No. Yaba's on 9, Chris is on 7.
Fair enough. It's slightly surprising, but not even that surprising.
Well, yeah, you've kept one this
Why
whole
you
game,
don't
right?
keep City of Lies. Yeah.
Yeah. Tenor saying Scorpion matches always end the same way. The middle parts are just slightly different.
Mine matches always end the same way too. People hit each other in the face.
So we see box activations immediately. Is that correct?
I don't think it is, but I can really understand not wanting to do the math.
Yeah, right. Just getting it out of the way. Wait, Yaba just passed. Does Yaba have another Kachiko?
That's Yaba has a Shoju.
Oh yeah, he has Shouju under. Then Chris is just dead, right? Like Chris can't stand to Shouju.
There's a shameful display.
You could attack Secret Cache, right? How many favorites have been played? Oh, only 2.
Both, right? He's only on 2, isn't he?
No, Chris is on 3.
Oh, Chris is on... They're both on 3.
They're both on 3.
I'm on 2. But these people are not just playing my deck list.
Yeah, they're also playing a sort of different style, right? Like I think your Scorpion deck's slightly more aggressive.
My deck's aggressive now. That's an interesting description.
Well, you're playing Crowd Splash with more conflict characters, and you're trying to at least attack more.
I don't. I have fewer conflict characters than Largeness. I have fewer conflict characters than both of these guys. I'm playing 4. We've got a 5 and an 8 from them.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I always thought that the Crab Splash was more aggressive than Dragon Splash, where you're trying to...
Crab Splash is more aggressive if you decide to try to play this drop bear fit nonsense. But Crab Splash, where you're playing, you get to get some counter spells in your deck. These counter spells happen to look like swords.
Yeah, that's fair.
So remember, it isn't a Scorpion match unless there's fewer than 5 honor on the table. The Illusionist is really nice, though, for Largeness. It's the one character you want if you're going to have one character, because it gives you 1 extra honor.
Wait, he didn't play Shoju. He didn't play Shoju pre-combat.
That's just wrong. Maybe he thinks he can use... Oh, he has a favorable ground. That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, I see. So you can just play him and then move him?
Yeah.
It just seems like hoops, right? Like it seems like more hoops than necessary.
Maybe Largeness will forget that he has a favorable ground. I don't know.
You know, look, that's reasonable. You have to attack Shane.
Third thing you mean on turn 2 then?
The Scorpion phase of the game is when the honor totals become lower than their fate. Yeah, turn 2.
Yeah, I seem to recall seeing 14 fate or 15 fate a few turns ago.
It was 18 actually.
Wait, it was 18?
Yeah, it was 18. It was 18, and then he bought Shoju. Or was
well,
it 14?
He bought Shoju. I think it was 15.
Okay,
Maybe
okay.
14 or 15.
Oh, he had Kachiko in the hideaway.
Okay.
Wait, but he passed his first conflict.
Then you should definitely... I mean, he could use it to block, but now he's just going to do a military attack, right?
Yeah, but Chris doesn't have any military buffs. But now he has to defend an airing. Wait.
I don't like this.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yaba could have the third Fury.
Yeah, that is possible. But that block does not sound like the confidence of a man with 3 Furies. And also, remember Largeness still has an Edict in his hand. Or in his deck, rather. And his hand is about the same size as his deck, so... Any strategy... Oh,
Well, Chris has to play a character. Yes, passing the airing is so awkward too, right? Because now the firing doesn't guarantee you a win. So
with the Social Illusionist, the firing was never anywhere near a win.
Yeah, now we see it for shame.
I want to see the second for shame, because that's really funny whenever it happens.
Adapt.
So if you're Largeness and you have 2 for shames here, you play the second for shame to dishonor the Bowroom Monger, right?
No, because then he can move the dishonor status to Kachiko.
Yes, you're right. On the other hand, then Kachiko's dishonored, and that's a moral victory.
I agree. I'm just saying that it doesn't guarantee you the win. Like, if you just for shame the adapt, you win, though, right? Because you just...
Does he?
Yeah, he's at 1. If he wins this airing, he wins.
That's true, but for shame in the adapt doesn't actually help you in the air ring.
Does Yaba have a first shame here? Nope, Yaba just GG's. I think Yaba should have just played Kachiko pre-conflict and then attacked with error.
Just run the secret cache. And, yeah, it sucks, but then you get 2 honor, and this game's looking a lot better.
Well, that game kind of ended abruptly.
Yeah, I think I'd like to say the moral of this game was don't keep City of Lies.
Yeah, it just kind of sat there. It saved him maybe like 2 fate over the course of the game.
Once too.
All right, well that. Chris says, I made so many play mistakes. I hope they were keeping count of how many times I forgot to use City of Lies. I think it was at least 3 from what I saw.
3 times he forgot? I think he might have only forgotten twice.
Okay, forgotten twice, and then just having it, and then not like really being able to use it. Alright, well that's going to be the game. So, taking a quick look at the schedule, now that Chris advances, so you'll be playing against him. How do you feel? How do you feel against this style of deck?
I mean, if I thought that this deck was better than mine, I'd have been playing it.
That's fair. So you then feel confident in the mirror against this?
Obviously, I have some disadvantage because I'm making sacrifices for other matchups.
That's
But
fair.
I think I'm slightly favored at least. I haven't put in the time to decide like exactly which version of this is optimal. But how do I put this? I think there are changes I'd make to this deck, to his deck, even if I wanted to play the same style of deck.
That's fair.
So we'll see what happens.
So the next game coming up for streaming purposes is going to be tomorrow. It'll be Goblin Guide versus Neff at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have not decided if I will be available for that game. My desire to play Magic right now is very low because the modern ban effects or unban effects haven't come in, or taken effect yet. So playing Modern doesn't appeal to me at the moment. So I will probably be available for that game because I probably will not be going to Magic. But I will post in the channel and let people know. Thanks again to Noman for casting. And that's it. Alright, everyone have a nice rest of your day.